بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية أمير المؤمنين وأولاده المعصومين. الحمد لله الذي نور قلوبنا بأنوار المحبة العلوية وأكمل لنا ديننا بولاية المرتزبية وتم نعمته علينا بهداية الهداية. ونصلي ونسلم على سيد من خلق المؤمن الحق بالحق حبيب إلهنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد
صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الهداة المهديين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها تريدا. صلوات محمد.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Brothers and sisters in Iman, Assalamu alaikum. Over the last 4 nights, the main focus of these talks have been based around the ilm and hikmah. And we came to the conclusion that alongside knowledge, there has to be a wisdom and a hikmah to allow Islam to flourish and to allow the message of Islam, the true message of Islam, to carry on being propagated until we can hand over the legacy and the teachings of Islam and the Holy Prophet to the hands of Imam al-Zaman. Ajalallah ta'ala. And we can take this flag of Ya Laylat al-Hussein and inshallah be alive to hand it to him personally. And inshallah over the next few nights, if Allah gives us enough time and life and tawfiq, then you will see that how even some of us, and I start with myself in particular, that we are jahil. And by saying this word jahil, a lot of people get offended. But this is not meant to be an insult. It just shows that sometimes, even if you have the ilm and you have the knowledge, does not mean that you're not a jahil. And in fact, sometimes someone who is 100% jahil, like the people of Arabia, they are the better kind of people because they don't know anything. Yet the person who thinks they know something but doesn't know anything, they're the worst type of people to deal with. That's the worst type of ignorance. Because they are steadfast on what they believe in, even if it's wrong. Which is why we are seeing all these problems today with the Islam of today. Because the whole society, the whole world, when they talk about Islam or the word Islam is mentioned, and this is also, of course, this is a propaganda from the Zionists to make it such that when people automatically see Islam, or they see a lady wearing a hijab, or someone with a beard, they automatically assume that you're a terrorist. But this is the way you think. Because these people are giving off this vision of an Islam that is worse than Jahiliyyah. Because they proclaim that they know the truth, they have the knowledge, they have the ilm, and this is the true version of Islam, and they are trying to establish their khilafah. So, dealing with someone who's completely ignorant is better than someone who's got a little bit of knowledge, but the wrong type of knowledge. And then we also mentioned last night in particular that there is no difference between Amir al-Mu'mineen and the Holy Prophet in terms of maqam, and also in the risalat of Islam. Just because the Holy Prophet died does not mean Islam's risalat, the message of Islam, did not get spread anymore, that it stopped. Just because Ali was not a prophet does not mean that Islam had to stop there. Whereas the question that was posed at the beginning of these lectures was, how did the Holy Prophet and A'immah spread the message of Islam? We will get there, inshallah. It's taking a bit of time, but I just want to make sure that the preparation is there so that we build a strong foundation here. And then if you look at what the Holy Prophet went through, 23 years, he tried to preach to these people. These people, of course, they were ignorant. So he had to start right from the beginning with these people, even the basics. Things like hygiene. You see, this is why Islam again asks you to pray 5 times a day, but before you pray 5 times a day, it asks you to do an ablution. Because these people didn't even have water, first of all. Mecca didn't have any water. Medina didn't have that much water, so the Holy Prophet had to put a system of irrigation, water system, all these sort of things because of these people. They didn't even know how to bathe. You might think that was in Arabia, but even here, if you look at the history of England, people do not even have baths in their house. So you see, this system of ablution, cleaning yourself before you pray, this was very important. And then we say, you know, the Jahiliyyah of the time of the Prophet. I mean, I myself, with these eyes, have witnessed the Jahiliyyah of the Saudis today. And believe me, Alhamdulillah, Allah gave me an opportunity to travel all over the world pretty much. I have not come across more ignorant, more arrogant, more stupid people than the Saudi Arabians. Outside Masjidul Haram, on this member, I swear, outside of Masjidul Haram, I saw an Arab Saudi. He wanted to come and do his Jama'at prayers. Outside of Masjidul Haram, he sat probably about, I would say, 20 to 30 steps from the masjid. He pulled up his dress, he sat outside and he did his toilet business. He then called an Indian Pakistani fellow to bring him water for him. The guy brought in one of these metal oil containers that we'd opened up. He brought some water for him. He washed himself there. He put down his dish-dash Arab clothes and he went into Masjid al-Haram to do Jama'at prayers. This is in the year 2000. These are the type of people. Now you imagine who the Holy Prophet was trying to teach. The people who were burying their own daughters alive. That's one of the examples of the way these people were. Yet for 23 years the Holy Prophet had patience. And we know, we said the other night, when Amir al-Mu'mineen would not kill people in the battlefield, that he could see that somewhere along in their generations, maybe it was their great-great-great-grandchild was a mu'min, Imam, and he would spare that man's life because he knew there was good going to come from them one day. And this is what the Holy Prophet saw, and this is what Allah sees in everybody. You see, Allah sees that in all of us. Allah sees that in the kuffar. Allah sees this in the enemies of Ahlul Bayt, which is why everyone is given an opportunity. And this is why as well, my brothers and sisters, we are told by all our imams and also by the alims of deen that do not do la'nat of people while they are alive. Because there is a chance that at the very last second, they will turn back. Again, we see this at Karbala. Say for instance, the very first day when Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyah, he stopped Imam Hussein. As soon as he stopped Imam Hussein, if we were there, we would have said, La'natullah ala Hur ibn Yazid for doing this. How wrong we would have been? What a big mistake we would have done. What a big sin we would have committed. Because he came back. See? And this is why, while someone is alive, do not do la'nat of them. Because there is a chance that at the very last second they do tawbah and they return back unto Allah and obey. But once they're dead, it is wajib upon us to do la'nat. Because they're now dead. And this is why sins like suicide and all that, Allah says will not be forgiven, because you don't get a chance to do tawbah. See, while you're alive, you have a chance to do tawbah. But once you're dead, that's it. There is no chance for forgiveness. So the Holy Prophet had patience. And from this patience, you see the fruits that were born. People like Salman al-Farsi, like Abu Zar, like Miqdad, like Ammar Yasir, like Maysam al-Tammar. All these people, from the patience, from the ilm of Nabi, but with the hikmat of Ali, became the companions of Rasulullah. Examples to you and I. One of them, like Salman, he got to such a maqam that he became Salman minna Ahl al-Bayt, Salman al-Mohammadi. Allahumma salli ala. Yet the Holy Prophet only asked for one thing. These 23 years, The hardship, the Holy Prophet says that the hardship I went through in these 23 years, Noah did not go through 950 years. So you do the maths, you do the comparison. Yet if you look at the story of Nuh in the Quran, Allah will say how much they made difficulty for Nuh. That he ended up doing the free, he ended up cursing his people. Yet the Holy Prophet said 23 years was more difficult than 950 years. And this is why the Holy Prophet is the only prophet mentioned in the Quran that asks for something in return for his risalah. لا أسألكم عليه من أجر إلا المبدة للقربى. All the other prophets in the Quran said this, but they said لا أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجري إلى الله. We don't ask for anything. Our reward is with Allah. But the Holy Prophet has here asked for one thing, and that is for you to have love for his Ahlul Bayt. Mabaddat and Mahabbat are two completely different things. Ahlul Sunnah say, we love Ahlul Bayt. And I don't know if any of you have seen, I'm sure you have seen, there's a channel before you get to Safir TV on the Sky Box. It's called British Muslim. My God, I mean, honestly, if after the 8th of Rabiul Awwal you want to have a good belly laugh, watch this channel. I actually ask you to see it, because why? Because you will see the Jahiliyyah in action there. I happened to be on the night of Ashura, because I was going to go to Safir TV, I stopped at this channel. And I watched some of the stuff that they were talking about. And they were raising money in the name of Panchthana Park for water wells. And they were saying tonight is, and this was the thing they were saying tonight is night of Ashura. Tonight is night of Ashura. We are collecting money in the love of Imam Hussein, in the name of Imam Hussein. Yet they brought this alim, they have a segment called Ask the Alim. And this is the thing, they're alim, they should be Ask the Jahil, not Ask the Alim. But anyway, Ask the Alim. They bring this guy on, he looks like he might be working in a kebab shop or something like that. You know, he brings him, his English is very bad, and then they call himself British Muslim. You know, and then they brought him and they said to him, and honestly, I just could not, I mean, I thought I was dreaming. I mean, I thought this was like some bad dream, and I'm going to wake up from it. They phoned up and asked this alim, the Shias say that this happened on the day of Ashura, that Yazid killed, and why are we fasting? And the answers this guy was giving was hilarious. And he kept saying, yes, we have a tradition. And he got to the position where he started talking about taking the family of Ahlul Bayt to Sham and Kufa. And he said this, he said, we have some traditions that say they took the Ahlul Bayt of Nabi to Kufa, but when they got there, they took him to Sham, but every place they treated them very well. And especially when they got to Sham, Yazid gave them one of his palaces. And he said, you are Ahlul Bayt of Nabi, please, you're my guest, you know. And then he said, because someone found up and said, well, what did the Shia say? That they were treated like slaves, they were kept in captivity, they were kept like prisoners. He said, yes, this is also a tradition, but these traditions are all weak, and Allah knows best. And this is their alim, ask the alim. You see, that they were stuck, yet they were praising Imam Hussein on one hand, and on the other hand, they were praising Yazid. You see, they are trying to hedge their bets both ways, you know. 50-50, I place some money on this, I place some money on that. And then on the day of judgment, you see, this is the Jahiliyyah. And they put the stamp, like I said, on themselves, authentic Islam, authentic version of Islam. So the Prophet now says, I want one thing from you, and that is the Mabaddat of Ahlul Bayt. So by just saying we follow Ahlul Bayt, and we follow the Panchthana Park, this is not Mabaddat, this is Mahabbat. Mabaddat means that you show your love, and you express your love, which is why in these 40 days from Ashura to Arba'in, from Arba'in to here, 8 plus 18, 40 plus 18, we are showing quite physically our love for Ahlul Bayt. The wearing of the black shirt, the looking like you're mourning, these are all expressing love. And this is all they want from us. They don't want anything more than this from us. This is the mabaddat they want from us. You see? So this is why we are showing them quite categorically where we stand. Another way to show this love, and you will see this within yourselves and your families and your day-to-day life, to show this mabaddat to Ahlul Bayt is to do dua for someone. For instance, you do something for your mother or your father, your mother will say to you, oh my son, thank you for doing this to you. May Allah, inshallah, give you children that are better than my children. It's a dua a mother makes for you. Best du'as are one of the du'as of the mother. You do something for your father says, inshallah, may Allah give you salamat, may Allah give you good health, may Allah make you very pious. These are du'as, because why is his father doing this for you? Why is his mother doing this to you? Because they are expressing their love towards you. And one of the simplest ways for us to show the mawaddat to Ahlul Bayt is to do dua for the Ahlul Bayt. Look at our position here now. We do dua for them. This is why the Holy Prophet says on a Friday, أكثروا من صلوات على محمد On a Friday, the Holy Prophet says, do a lot of salawat. Why? Because he says this is a dua that is guaranteed. You are showing your mawaddat, you are showing your gratitude for these 23 days. Let me show you, let me give you a little story here as well. To show, and I want, with this story, what I want is, I want you not to say anything to me, but in your own heart, see where you are, not compared to where Ahlul Bayt are, but where to the companions of Ahlul Bayt are. And you will see, because we'll get there inshallah. There was a battle where the Holy Prophet fought in, and it was a very difficult battle. That it took a lot of effort for the Muslimin, the Mu'mineen, to become victorious. So, Alhamdulillah, they became victorious, and they were returning back towards Medina. It was time for Zuhrayn, so they stopped to do the prayers with the Prophet in Jamaat. When they finished the Zuhr prayers, Jibreel came down. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, Allah sends his regards to you. He wants to say to you and the companions that are with you now, they have fought very hard. So Allah wants to give them all a reward in this world straight away. So Ya Rasulullah said to Jibreel, what is it that Allah wants to give to them? He says He has given them all one wish, one hajat that is granted 100% without any question. So the Holy Prophet turned around to the companions, the people that were there, that there were 20, 30 people, he said to them, you all have one wish and it's completely granted without any doubt, because Jibreel has just come down to you. So ask for what you want to ask. Someone asked, can I have a mansion with a swimming pool, maybe something like this. Another one said, can I have a wife, a really good wife. Another one said, I want a good son. Another one said, I don't know, I want the Bentley version of a camel. You know, that's what I want, you know, the best camel there is to buy. So, you know, these sort of things they asked for. When they finished asking for the hajat, the Holy Prophet said, have you finished? They all said yes. The Holy Prophet started to smile. And he said one statement, I wish Uwais al-Qarani was here today. They said, Ya Rasulullah, why are you saying this? Who is Uwais al-Qarani? What does this mean? What would he have asked for? He said, leave it. Let's go. Let's go. Now, Uwais al-Qarani, he had an amazing connection with Rasulullah. Even though in his whole life he never met Rasulullah. Yet you see in Africa, someone on the day of Ashura will beat themselves for Imam Hussein, yet they've never been to Karbala. They don't even know how to say Hussein properly, yet they have this connection. This is the work of the heart. There are no barriers, there's no race, there's no age, there's no distance, there's nothing between you and Imam Hussein. See, this is love, this is what love does to a person. So he never met the Rasulullah. Why did he never meet Rasulullah? Because he used to live in Yemen. Well, Yemen is not that far from Medina. So why didn't he go? Because he had an elderly mother. This mother was so elderly that he couldn't take her with him to Medina. And also he didn't want to leave her behind just in case something happened to her. Yet he was desperate to do the ziyarat of Rasulullah. And my brothers and sisters, and again, this is the other thing we will see today as well. Learn these things about religion. Religion is very easy to learn. Believe me, religion is not difficult at all. It's one of the most easiest things to learn. But once you understand the hikmah, you put some formulas together, it will become easy for you. My brothers and sisters, those of you who sometimes want to go to Karbala, or want to go to Hajj, or want to go to Umrah, or something like this, if your mother and father don't give you permission, you can't go. You say, this is the art of Imam Hussein. I've been working myself, I've saved money, I'm going to Karbala, I don't care if my mom and dad says you can't go, this is my money, I'm going. I've heard these. People phone me up and ask me, I want to go to Karbala, but my mom and dad say you can't go. But this is the art of Imam Hussein, it is wajib. I say the wishes of your mother and father are wajib. Then they get angry with me because this is not the answer they want to hear. You will always find when people ask a question, they want the answer that they want to hear. When you tell them the answer they don't want to hear, this is where they get problems. So they say to me, oh brother, where do you say this from? I said at Karbala, there was a young boy. He came out to fight. Imam Hussein said to him, you're a young boy, there's still men left here, go back to your mother. He went, his mother said, what do you come back for? He said, Imam Hussein sent me back. She said, go back. So when he came back the second time, Imam Hussein said to him, does your mother know you are here? He said, my mother has given me permission to come back. And she has said to me, don't come back the third time to my death unless they bring back your head. You see, Imam Hussein is asking if you've got your mother's permission, come and fight alongside him. Yet you see these jahils, they go off to Syria. When they speak to their parents on the news, we didn't know our son is gone. We didn't know they've gone. We didn't know our daughter is gone. Yet they're going to fight jihad, fi sabilillah. If your mother and father have not given you permission, what jihad are you fighting? What sort of Islam is this you're following? See, we have a saying in Farsi, Har ki shafi ash umar bubad, kuri asa kesh kuri digar bubad. Whoever is Umar der Shafi is a blind leading the blind. Give me a salawat. Come on. Yet one day, his mother saw that this Uwais is going to waste away if he does not go see Rasulullah. So she said to him, Uwais, set off early after Fajr, go to Medina, come back late at night. Don't leave, don't stay there. So Uwais, very happy. Before anything, he knew without wearing his slippers or anything, he jumped on his horse and I'm going to go see Rasulullah. So he came all the way to Medina. When he got to Medina, he went to the door of Nabi. He knocked on the door and he said, what do you want? He said, I am Uwais al-Qarani. I have come all the way from Yemen to see my Habib Rasulullah. They said, oh Uwais, he has gone into a battle somewhere. Outskirts of Medina, he's not here. How long will he be? We don't know. So he said, I can't leave my mother in Yemen. So he got on his horse and he came back. When Rasulullah came back from the war, as soon as he entered into near his house, he said, he smelled first, he went, has Uwais al-Qarani been here? My brothers and sisters, when you go to Karbala and when you come back home, does Imam Hussein say, have you been here? I'm running out of time, but please let me say this story because it's just content. This is Ahlul Bayt to say this. There was one person in Iran, he had a very difficulty in his life. So he made a vow, a nazar, that for 40 years he will go to the shrine of Imam Reza on the Eid al-Nuruz every year for 40 years. And as you know, when you make these sort of vows, they are wajib upon you to act them out. So don't make these vows lightly. He went every year till the 40th year. The 40th year he went, he finished his nazar. The 41st year he didn't go to the Masjid. Eid al-Nuruz, on the night he had this dream. He saw Imam Reza in his dream. Imam Reza said to him, you haven't come this year to my ziyarah. He said, Ya Rasulullah, it is the 41st year, I'm sure I have done it correctly. Has it not been 40 years? He said, yes, it has been 40 years, but I miss your presence in my life. This is our Ahlul Bayt. This is why we do so much for them, because this is how they work. So he said, I got up, I got the ticket for Majid and I went to Imam Reza. They miss us. So Rasulullah is now saying, has Uwais al-Qarani been here? They said, how did you know? He says, because I can smell the smell of heaven. Now you, like I said, make a comparison, see where you are compared to Uwais al-Qarani. So anyway, Uwais went back home and didn't see Rasulullah. Rasulullah then passed away from this world. His mother also passed away, so now he was free. to do what he wanted to do. So he went back to Medina. Why? Because Ali was there. He missed out on Nabi, but Ali was there. Wali is there. So he became a companion of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And he was with Amir al-Mu'mineen all the way till Siffin, where he became Shaheed alongside the companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Yet there were about 10 or 20 people who were with Rasulullah that day when they all granted one wish. When they met Uwais al-Qarni, they said to him, Uwais, we had this situation happen to us where Rasulullah said you all get one wish. And he said that I wish Uwais was here, but he didn't tell us why. So if you were there, what would you have done? He said, what did you guys ask for? One of them said, you know, I asked for a camel, a house, why? So Uwais started to cry. He said, why are you crying? He said, because if I was there. Now my question to you is this. Jibreel comes now and he says to you, you get all one hajjat. What would you pray for straight away? What would you pray for? Think about it, don't tell me. Think about it yourself. Then compare yourself to Uwais al-Qarni. He said, if I was there, I swear to Allah, the first thing I would have asked for is, Allah, do not take the Holy Prophet away from us till the Day of Judgment. His one wish is for his Habib. Why? Because he is showing Mabaddat. Yet if we have that one wish, what would you have wished for? Would you have raised your hand and said, Allahumma ajjal baliyika al-faraj? Would you have done? This is why when Rasulullah says to Uwais, there's a poem here, a Farsi poem, it's very nice to hear it. Rasulullah used to say to Uwais, Dar Yamani, Pish Yamani. You are in Yemen, but you are with me. Pish Yamani, Dar Yamani. You are with me, even though you are in Yemen. If we have this connection with Ahlul Bayt, my brothers and sisters, even if you're sent here, you're in Kabbalah. You see? This is how it's so easy to establish the connection, so long as you have the mabaddat towards Ahlul Bayt of Rasul. Salawat wa Muhammad. Yet now look what Imam al-Zaman is asking for us on this Friday. أكثر الدعاء بتأجيل الفرج. Imam al-Zaman says, make most of your du'as for my faraj. فَإِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ فَرَجَكُمْ. You see, this Ahlul Bayt, Imam al-Zaman is saying, make most of your du'as for me, but within this dua is your hajat will be granted. Yet you look in the Quran, لا أسألكم عليهم من أجر إلا المبدة بالقربان وما سألتكم من أجر فهو لكم. Even though I'm asking for this one thing, it's not for me, it's for you. So the easiest way to show your mabadda to Rasulullah is what? Allahumma salla ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. You have now killed two birds with one stone. My brothers and sisters, the very easiest way to make sure 100% all your du'as are granted, and I would highly recommend this for you to do from tonight. If you can, I would highly recommend to you, is that do not ask Allah for anything. Have some manners at the door, Allah's house. I'm talking very frankly with you tonight. Do not ask Allah for anything from tonight. Make a pact on this Friday that from tonight, for the sake of Hazrat Fatima Ma'suma, say from tonight you will have no more wishes, no more desires. And let me say why I say this to you. Because my brothers and sisters, what else do you want from apart from the Vilayat of Ali? What other need is there? What other desire are there? Every other need and desire is a worldly desire. The fact that He has allowed to you to say Ya Hussein, what other do you need from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Money comes and goes, health comes and goes, everything comes and goes. This is a transient life. We're not here forever. So what I will say to you from tonight, do this thing. That after every wajib namaz, with this intention, that Allah return the Savior to us, so that He can come and take revenge for the blood of Hussein, 40 times. After sajda, we do sajda after namaz. 40 times. Allahumma ajil waliyika al-faraj. 40 times. That's it. Do not ask anything else. And start it with the salawat, end it with the salawat. And then when someone says to you, brother, I have been to Masjid Dua, straight away in your heart say, Allahumma ajil waliyika al-faraj. Do not pray for anything for yourself. Then see me next year, inshallah, if I'm alive, and you see me again next year, tell me what has happened in your life that is different. Believe me, the doors will open for you. Why? Because Imam al-Zaman will look and he will say, this guy who is praying for me, this boy who is praying for me, tomorrow he has an exam, but he's forgotten about his exam. He's not asking Allah for help with his exam. He's not asking for Allah help with his driving test. He's not asking for Allah for money. He's not asking for Allah for a job. He's not asking for Allah for any of these things. This woman, this guy, they're not asking for us, yet they are worried about my return. So Allah, I will pray for them what they want. Whose dua is going to get granted? Mine or Imam al-Zaman's? So learn the tricks, learn how to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So please, from tonight, it is shameful for us to ask Allah for anything. Because He has already given us all His ni'mat. Yes? Atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. Allah said, I'm giving you everything. What else do you want from me? So please, my brothers and sisters, do not forget the salawat on Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. With the ajil faraj. Hazrat Fatima Ma'sooma. Left Medina so that she could get to Khurasan to be with her brother Imam Reza. But unfortunately, she didn't make it all the way to Khurasan. But this is Allah's hikmah, that she were to be buried in Qom. That Qom then becomes a headquarters of Shia faith and ilm. And you will see, they will say that Qom will become the headquarters of the Hukumat Imam al-Zaman. Now look at this word, Hukumat. It comes from the word hikmat. You see now, everything is interlinked. So why? Because of the footsteps of this lady into a desert. Qom is a desert place. It's full of dryness, heat. Yet from the steps and footsteps of this lady, it has become Darul Ilm. And you will see the Hawza Ilmiya there, the alims that have come out from there, and one day it will be the headquarters of the Hukumat Imam. This was one sister coming to visit her brother. At the Battle of Uhud, when Hind, the grandmother of Yazid, came to the body of Hamza, the uncle of Rasulullah, because of the enmity she had towards Hamza, she took out the dagger, she cut out his abdomen, she pulled out his liver, she ate a piece of his liver to say that I have hatred towards Hamza and his family. When Rasulullah saw from a distance that his auntie was coming, the sister of Hamza was coming to Uhud, he ordered all his companions to quickly go and get the leaves from the date trees. You have seen the palm trees, it has the very big leaves. He said, go and bring the leaves from these trees. They said, Ya Rasulullah, what do you want with these leaves? He said, go and bring them and cover the body of Hamza. They said, Ya Rasulullah, why do you want us to do this? He said, because Hamza's sister is coming to Uhud now. I can see her. I don't want her to see the body of Hamza in this state. Ya Rasulullah, you were at Karbala. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Imam al-Sadiq says, while my grandfather Hussein was alive, he had 1,950 wounds to his body. While he was alive, 1,950 wounds to his body. Yet these people, they were so scared of Imam Hussein that they wouldn't approach him while he was still alive. Yet when he was dead, once Shem beheaded him, they all gathered strength. Every enmity they had towards Amir al-Mu'mineen in their heart, they took it out in the body of Imam Hussein. Which is why when Zainab al-Kubra came to the body of Imam Hussein, she had to push aside all the broken swords. Why were they broken swords? It's not a sword made from steel. So how was it broken? Because these people struck the body of Imam Hussein so hard that their swords broke. She pushed aside aside all the broken swords. She pushed aside all the broken spears. She pushed aside all the stones and all the rubble. She pulled out a shredded body underneath all of this. With amazement, she looked at this body. She said, "Anta akhi, anta ibn walidi? Are you really my brother? Are you really the son of my mother and father?" She picked up this body. A lot of people say here, do you not say Zainab al-Kubra was very weak after the events of Ashura? So how was it possible for her to lift up the body of a man? I will say to these people, do you not realize a body that has no head on it, a body that has been dismembered, a body that has been trampled on by the horses, does not have any weight to it? She lifted up the body of Hussein. She first said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi ya Rasulullah, Maliku sama, hadha Husainuka, murammelun bid-dima, maslubat al-imamat wal-rada, muqatta'ul a'zam. Ya Rasulullah, this is your Hussein. He is drowned in his blown blood. His body has been dismembered. He hasn't got a turban or any clothes on his body. Zainab al-Kubra was taken away by force, by captivity to Kufa and then to Sham. On the Arba'in of Husseini, my brothers and sisters, this is my aqidah, this is my belief, this is not being quoted anywhere. But my teacher said to me, whenever you go to Karbala, do not go to the grave of Hussein first, go to the grave of Abul Fadl al-Abbas first. I said to my teacher, why do you say this? He said, because Abbas is Babul Hussein. You have to go to the door of Hussein first, ask for permission to do ziyarat of Hazrat Hussein. But he said to me that this was his yaqeen, his aqidah. Again, it is not written down anywhere. That when the caravan and Qafilah came back from Sham, that when they got to the graves of Imam Hussein and Hazrat Abbas, Hazrat Zainab first went to the grave of Abul Fadl al-Abbas. I said to him, why do you say this? He said, because on the 11th of Muharram, she only had the opportunity to go to the body of Hussein and pay her respects. She could not go all the way to Al-Qamah to pay her respects to Abul Fadl al-Abbas. This is why in her heart, she said, inshallah, one day when I go back to Karbala, I will go to Abbas and I will say to Abbas, Abbas, ask forgiveness for Zainab. Because Abbas, this enemy, would not allow me to come to Al-Qamah. Otherwise, Abbas, I swear to Allah, I would have come to your body too. Yet my teacher said, Hazrat Zainab, when she came to the body of Abul Fadl al-Abbas, the grave of Abul Fadl al-Abbas, in her heart she had one complaint from Abul Fadl al-Abbas. I said to my teacher, what is this complaint that she had from Abbas? She said to Hazrat Abbas, Ya Abbas, on the day of Ashura, when you fell onto the floor, you said, Ya Akha Adrik Akha. Never in your life did you call Hussein by his name. You always said to him, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, Ya Aba Abdullah. But when you came to die, you said, Ya Akha, you called Hussein a brother. But Abbas, you never called me sister. Oh Abbas, I would have loved it if for once in your life you called Zainab your sister. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. يا رب المؤمنين وحق أمير المؤمنين اشف صدور المؤمنين بظهور الحجة. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج، عجل لوليك الفرج، عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والنصر، واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته ومحبيه وخادميه. السلام